You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein. With me, as always, is...
Josh Schaefer, PhD.
You know, I felt like you were going to go with the PhD. I'm glad you did. And...
Queen Bee.
So...
Just a BA.
A B-A, huh?
B.
I see what you did there. Clever. Pretty sneaky, Mike.
So, PhD, because...
Because what? I got a doctorate in street knowledge.
Street knowledge about what? I'm trying to prompt you so you can start this damn podcast.
We're doing a podcast?
Oh my god, Josh, just fucking talk.
We're going to talk about
Yes.
science fiction.
Okay. Specifically about... That's a broad genre right there.
Well, I want to zero it into something more real,
Okay.
such as why people all of a sudden think science is fiction.
Okay. So science, that's fiction.
Yeah.
Not just science fiction. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're talking things like...
Flat Earth, conspiracy,
You mean it's not real? Like the Earth isn't flat?
vaccines causing autism.
Oh, yeah.
Climate change.
That's a loaded topic right there.
Yeah, I thought we could do something a little bit more real.
Presidents who are part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lizard people.
Lizard people, or both. Illuminatis are lizard people.
Lizard people, my favorite heavy metal band.
I thought that would be the...
Tony Danza extravaganza.
No, they opened for Tony Danza Extravaganza with special opening act, The Lizard People.
Tom Cruise.
He's just his own conspiracy theory right there. Plus, you just got your one Tom Cruise reference for
I
this
know.
podcast.
I just realized I missed out on the past 3 or 4.
Yeah, you have.
Oh my God, we weren't even paying attention.
I was.
He was.
I couldn't figure out a good way to put him in there.
You've tried. You did
tried,
try
but-
once. Yeah. So, flat Earth.
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't understand how people can do that.
Well, there's only 500 of them. 500 people who believe
There's
in...
only 500?
There's 500 people who
Yeah,
believe...
how do you have this exact number?
Because I read a whole article on it a few weeks back.
Well,
500
That's
people...
almost as many people as know anything about Hawkman.
Well, we'll say that,
Just way
okay, there's
more.
500 people who are members of the Flat Earth Society.
Oh, okay, so that's different. That is
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
That's people willing to give money to a society.
So, but this is-
right. They're willing to give money to
The specific... Now, you know more about this than I do, because when we were talking about this off mic, you had like all sorts of things about
yeah.
this flat Earth bullshit that you knew
So
about.
the reason why it even popped in my brain is I watched a documentary online just because I like to know how people think. And in the documentary, these people think that, Earth is the only planet in the entire universe that's flat. Not just in our solar system, just
At all.
at all. Because they can see the other planets, they can't see where they're standing on. So
How do they account for like Earth rotation?
there is no Earth rotation.
But they're
It's an
literally...
optical illusion.
How?
I don't know. This is where
Literally.
this is where the science fiction comes in because, you could be wrong and live, right? Whatever. But like in this documentary that I watched, and I was trying to find the name of it, but I couldn't find it. But they believe that when you get to the edges of the Earth, you just teleport to the other side magically. But they can't believe in the planet being a sphere shaped.
Despite
They-
despite horizons.
Yeah.
They do believe, okay, that, they do believe that it's flat, and they do believe that you can transport magically, but they can't believe that the planet is the same as all the other planets out there, although they do refer to as Earth as a globe. And what is a globe?
But it's a sphere.
There you go. So
Even though scientifically speaking, it's not really a sphere. It's more the
more
shape of a real... it's really the shape of a lumpy potato. As per...
Oh, that's a good band name.
the lumpy potato?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a ska band, I believe.
potato.
That was A Brief History of Time from the really smart guy.
Stephen Hawking.
Thank you. I'm terrible with names.
He's the best YA author ever.
He is. But yeah, his Brief History of Time, I think at one point talks about the shape of the planet.
I
And
like
it's
the
a lump.
documentary, though.
He goes, it's a sphere, but it's not really a sphere because you have to crunch it down. And then even then, it's really more of a lumpy potato. So, yeah.
But
Wow.
just doesn't
My God.
like and it's not like you can point to a single scientific study that says the Earth's flat, except for what these people create. And
In their own heads that they
Yeah.
then write down.
yeah, so it's like, here's the research. That's not research. It's just your thoughts. That's a manifesto at this point.
It's
like,
you're writing this, and all of your references are other people's manifestos on the same topic.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, just it infuriates me that this is something that the Egyptians believed.
But even
Eons
they really
ago.
didn't.
But there's no proof of it. It doesn't matter. There's still no proof that the Earth is flat. But there is proof that the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they believe if the ancient Egyptians believed the Earth was flat, it was only because it was a belief born out of the fact that they lived within.
No, they thought it was round too.
Well, I was gonna say, but
Yeah.
whoever did it, like if any of the Egyptians had it at all, it was because they lived in a valley with a river running through it, and that was basically the whole of their world. And then when people came in from the outside world, they were like,
Oh, well, what?
what? But it's that stupid belief of all the stupid stories of, like, people said the Earth, believed for the longest time the Earth was flat. No, most people did not.
Yeah.
A small group of people did, and they were ridiculed for it.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is watch a ship sail out across the ocean to see it slowly descend over the horizon. You're like, the Earth is round.
Yeah.
That's all it is to it right there.
Yeah. The bullshit about it just being a big waterfall at the edge and
Yeah.
like
Which is
not a
only works if you use magic and the disc world. Like that's the only. Because I remember the people who believed that way back, the myths are built around it, and it was the question of what's underneath the Earth to hold it up. Well, it rides on the back of a giant turtle. What's underneath the turtle?
But a turtle is rounded at the top.
At the top, yeah. But then you have to ask what's underneath the turtle. Is it just floating? There's like, no, there's stuff underneath that. What? And one of the things is, it's turtles all the way down.
yeah.
Okay.
Down to where?
The turtle.
I'm so lost.
Okay. Well, you
But-
know, turtles. And then, so anti-vaxxers. So apparently there was a paper written by a doctor who said that autism was caused, thank you, by this vaccine that every
One
child gets. One paper. And then recently he came out and he said, I lied.
Well, he had to.
He
There was a
came out-
court case.
Right.
He was made to say he lied because he faked the evidence.
Right.
He lost his
faked
medical
the-
license.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
But now there's more anti-vaxxers than there are
by
flat
far.
earthers.
And way more of them than Hawkman fans.
Right, but they're okay with their kids possibly dying of polio or measles or rubella than they are of giving their kids vaccines. And they're threatening the lives of other people who can't take the vaccine. Literally can't because it would probably kill them.
Yeah.
Based
of the
on
stuff
their
that's
own
in it.
immunity
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's
how?
Well, and it's not like the toxins that quote unquote toxins that are in these vaccines necessarily are bad for humans at all. I mean, my wife can't take the flu vaccine because it's made with shrimp enzymes.
Right.
And she's allergic to shrimp, so it causes anaphylaxis.
Right.
So, I mean, it could be something innocuous that they're allergic to normally, and they just can't take it for that reason. But you're right, there's been Seattle had an outbreak, Disneyland had an outbreak. There's been a bunch of outbreaks of measles because people don't have the herd immunity anymore.
Right. Well, polio. It was eradicated.
Totally.
It's
It
back.
wasn't here, and
Yeah.
now it's back.
Yep.
Measles was almost eradicated.
It was eradicated in the United
Oh,
States
was
at
it?
one point.
Yeah.
It was officially declared eradicated, and now it's back.
Yeah.
See, and I get if people don't want to do vaccines for other conspiracy reasons, they're like, oh, well, did you hear about the Tuskegee Airmen? If you think that the government's poisoning you on
Yeah,
purpose
because that's
or something.
5 people that are going to do that. It's not
Yeah.
everyone.
But if it's
Yeah.
there's historical fact based off of that, but
Yeah.
I've never gotten sick from a vaccine before that I know of.
But I mean,
Is this
it's
a
just,
fever dream?
It's just you, Josh. That's not empirical evidence if it's just you, Josh.
I know.
Just because you don't have autism doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't happen. That's the theory. That's what their
No,
theory
I
is
know.
based. Yeah.
But it's just an asinine theory because
Yeah.
they're like, well, what do you say about the autism rates in today's society? Well, it wasn't called autism back in the 20s.
Yeah. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know how to diagnose it. Now we do. Now doctors are picking up on it better. That's what it is.
But you got to also understand back in the day when they weren't noticing autism, they also thought that a woman was crazy for reading. So,
And that she was hysterical when she had an orgasm.
Yep. No, orgasms cured hysteria.
But we're also causing it.
Oh, did it?
And sexual
'Cause
dysfunction was...
that's what the first
how
vibrator
dare
was
you be
for.
sexually active
Yeah.
and want to have sex?
Because the uterus would detach.
Hey,
itself
as long as
from
it leads to more orgasms.
orgasms. orgasms.
The what would detach itself?
No, that's actually was a belief at one point. The uterus was actually a free-floating organ that could detach itself and
That's
move
what
around the
caused
body.
hysteria, was the uterus would detach and go to a woman's brain.
Doctors were idiots.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
the only way to cure it was to give the woman an orgasm, which is why they invented the vibrator, because the doctors were...
I'm well aware of why they invented the vibrator.
For fun
Yeah.
and profit.
No, the doctors were...
they created it because
The doctors were tired of doing it.
right, doctors were getting
They get to shove their hands up
carnal
women's
tunnel.
vaginas. Come on.
they were getting carpal tunnel.
Carnal tunnel.
Carnal tunnel.
That's what the vagina is called.
And the doctor who was doing it the most often, and there was a movie about it. Yeah. And so he created the vibrator.
Because he was tired of getting to touch up ladies.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, if you do it too much, you really can't get tired of anything.
You can.
Yeah.
Really. Moderation. For everything.
Everything in moderation.
His wife must have been very happy.
Once he invented the vibrator?
No, just in general. It's like, honey, warm me up.
I'm not entirely sure that he was
I don't remember.
heterosexual.
He might not have been.
I think he was gay.
Oh, that might have been why he was disinterested.
Right? I don't know. Who played him? Ferris Bueller played him. What's his name?
Matthew Broderick.
Nice. Thank you. That's it.
Well, now he just sounds creepy because everything Matthew Broderick does at this point, he's creepy. Yeah.
What happened to...
He got creepy.
Okay, so Illuminati. Why would anybody believe that
Lizard people?
lizard people of all are Illuminati?
The Illuminati thing is like that's a huge long rat's nest of conspiracies. They believe that there's a shadow government, however you want to call it, that controls everything, and they want to blame just about anyone they can for it. The Knights Templar, the Jews, anyone that they can
Society.
Yeah, anyone that they can say is these are the people pulling the strings and we have to stop them because they're the shadow government. They'll blame for it. It's easy to blame lizard people wearing with lizard faces that are from aliens that then wear like human skins, because that's easier to accept than the truth of the matter that your government hates you and maybe you need to work on your life.
Okay. You're looking at me like into my soul, dude. I'm just
Sorry.
saying.
You're sitting across a table from me.
I think he's protesting a little too much, so who's to say he's not a lizard person? And why haven't you invited me to be a lizard person with you? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, why? Had I known you were interested.
I was at all the meetings.
You were not. You missed the last meeting. We recorded podcasts at it. We have proof.
Is there a buy-in? Like, do you have to pay a fee to join this club?
Well, first you have to rip off your own face. That's the cost of entering.
Okay.
Then we convert you into a lizard person.
Oh, there's a conversion period.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You get cookies afterwards, so it's not all bad.
You can lay under a very warm lamp.
Lizard people conversion is a whole lot easier than gay conversion.
I bet.
A lot more welcoming for some reason.
We're very accepting. You can be gay and be a lizard person. We don't mind.
Lizard people 2020.
Let the shadow government rule. They know what they're doing.
Well,
They've been around for centuries.
Okay, so shadow government.
Yes.
Like, shadow government.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the government pulling the strings.
It's the government run by Alec Baldwin's The Shadow.
I don't believe that at all. But okay, so the shadow government is worse than the current government that we have?
I mean, I would think. Of course, the current government, the guy in charge, blames the shadow government and the deep
Which, if
state
the shadow
for
government
everything.
actually existed, do you think that would happen at all?
Yeah, I know, right? Wouldn't he have already been taken out by the shadow government? Because he's way too talkative about it.
Yeah, I'm confused by this whole shadow government thing. So
That's conspiracy. We're confused about the flat Earth and anti-vax. Like, they
Yeah.
don't make any sense.
Like, I'm not saying like everything that I read in papers or something, I'm like, oh, that's 100% accurate. The government's not hiding anything from me. Like, that's obviously not true.
But good
it's
reporting
kind of
points out that
MIB.
point.
Yeah.
The whole MIB is kind of like the conspiracy movie,
Yeah.
right? So you have all these characters within the movie that are basically, these are actually aliens rather than humans.
I'm still waiting for the White Album on Tiny Disc. I'm just saying.
They were
So-
way off on that.
They were way off on that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were aliens on this planet of some kind, but why?
Why would they? If they're going to involve themselves, wouldn't they do a better job?
I think we'd
There's a meme that says that aliens probably drive past Earth and roll up their windows because,
because we're kind of a shithole right now.
We are a shithole right now.
Yeah.
We're ruining our
But we're
planet.
a shithole planet.
We are a way shithole planet.
We are.
Yeah.
Because humans are garbage. Sorry.
The Martians are sitting there going, let's just pretend we're not here. They won't know.
No, because what was that?
That probe's coming by. Can everyone duck?
Didn't Stephen Hawking say something like,
Sure, if you duck, put your ass in the air.
but didn't Stephen Hawking say something about how aliens are out there, but the only reason they would come to Earth is to pretty much strip us of minerals and...
Yeah, we're not worthwhile to them otherwise.
Yeah.
If they have the technology that they can come and visit us, they're way more advanced than we are.
Yeah, and they're not going to really want our minerals anymore anyway, because we've kind of ruined all
Fucked
of them,
all of it,
too.
yeah.
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 Well, if they were that much more advanced, like... There's stars in space, so I'm sure they can do solar panels.
Yeah,
or,
I mean, you gotta think that there's probably...
If they're that advanced, they could go
Yeah.
to pretty much any other star
Yeah.
system.
Well, you gotta think too that there's plenty of planets out there that if they want to strip minerals, there's uninhabitable planets.
Yeah.
They could just set up a mining colony, strip it of everything it's worth, and move on with their life. They don't need us and our weird backward ways and idiot ideas and anti-vaccination.
Our narcissism of that we are the best planet in the
They'll
solar
just
system.
they'll come down. They'll look at someone and go, "Why the fuck do they believe the Earth is flat?"
They'll go,
Like,
honey,
we've seen
can we
it.
go to that other planet?
just give it 100 years. Measles will kill them all off.
You're not wrong. Ice caps are melting.
That's also caused by measles.
Oh, that's another thing. Climate change deniers.
Oh my god.
Can we all just get on the same chapter that we are killing our planet? So
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to... Like, I don't even care if you believe it's man-made or not, but there's physical evidence of it. Like,
yeah.
go live in New Orleans
It was
for a little bit, right?
I wrote an article way back before
remember that.
this version of Asteroid G was up. Yeah, and it was the idea of, okay, so you don't believe in climate change. Sure, fine, whatever. Why do you rail against all the things that we're trying to do about it that, and even if it doesn't fix climate change, quote unquote, still is better for healthy air? Like, you can't breathe all this stuff because it's toxic for you. Why are you okay with it being pumped out into the atmosphere? Even if you don't think it's going to pollute make the earth warmer, there is evidence that it makes you sicker. So why are you okay with it being pumped out? I don't get that. It doesn't make any
either.
sense to me.
Well, it's because I think it just kind of goes back to a fundamental flaw of our education system.
That we don't really
We
educate
don't
people.
educate people.
No.
No, we don't. We really don't.
Like,
No, but our society is very much it's all about me.
Yeah.
And so unless it affects me isn't going to pay attention. And so you have to kind of look at me and say, you're going to die if you don't, but they're not going to believe you until they're dying.
yeah.
And at
Well,
that point, it's too late.
And the big problem is the fact that most of the people that hear, I'm going to die in 50 years when I'm going to be dead anyway. This is someone else's problem.
Well, it's
Right.
12
And nobody
years.
wants to solve that problem.
No one will solve that problem. They don't want to solve a problem they're going to be dead for. And by the time we get around to solving it, when all the people that don't want to solve it because they're dead are dead, we're already too far gone.
Yeah.
Uplifting topic.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I think part of the issue too is that like our political system's kind of instead of created.
Fucked.
Yeah, it's just my team says this, so this is what I believe in.
Yeah.
It's like, so you like sports, and when your quarterback does bad, you want to get rid of him. But when your politicians on your team are doing poorly,
You want to
They
keep
s-
them in office as
yeah,
long as
it's-
possible.
there's
Yeah.
just too much like us versus them mentality. Like,
Yeah.
again, bad education.
Yeah. I think human race needs to be better educated all the way around.
I mean, not that I would say that other governments are doing a better job, but pretty much every government right now kind of sucks.
So I read a report that the Republican Party, not to disparage against Republicans, but we're
But
pretty
feel
liberal,
free. That's
I
fine.
think. But the
I'm a
Republican
hardcore
Party,
Democrat. It's fine.
I'm liberal.
You're a
I
Democrat. Just
know.
admit it.
I don't want to. But
When you go to vote, do you always pick the Democratic ballot for the
I
primary?
used to try to be fair and put some Republicans in there just to keep things fair, but now I don't even.
You can't even bother with it,
I
yeah.
just hit the
Yeah.
D button, and I say
he
every
likes the D.
time,
Just
I'm like,
hit the big D button,
Yeah,
baby.
I'm going to give you the D, which should be the Democratic Party's slogan, I think, going forward.
They'd probably get more people to
Take
it.
I
the
would
D.
vote for him, but Republicans are the only group of people in first world countries that believe in climate change.
that don't believe in climate change?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Don't. Like China
Yeah.
believes that.
Yeah. Just about every other government in the world believes that climate change is a thing. And I don't even think it's that the Republicans don't believe it. I think they just say they don't believe it.
Yeah.
Most of them are just in the pockets of, the lobbyists for this company or that company. And they want the money
and pharmaceuticals.
Because, again, it's someone else's problem when they die. And most of them are so old, they only have 20 years or so left. They don't give a shit what happens to the next generation. It's just about them.
They want to line their pockets so they can go to Tahiti on a regular basis.
And then die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Probably with a prostitute getting them off. Just saying.
Life boy or a dead girl. It
doesn't matter.
Is there a difference? I'll pay for both.
At the same time.
So said Mitch McConnell.
Oh.
He looks like a dead boy.
But you're not. Okay. So.
Mitch McConnell. That's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
He looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
A really sad one.
Actually, he looks more like what is that? Deputy Dog or something?
Deputy Dog?
Yeah. Deputy Dog, yeah.
The Tex Avery thing.
Yeah. So we have anything else?
We can end on an uplifting note.
Anti-vax.
Most of those people will be dead by the time we're their age, right?
You can hope.
Probably.
Until cryostasis comes into play, and then we're just going to be a government of heads.
I can't wait for that day. I want to be a head.
Get you some head. That's Democrats 2050. On that note, this has been Not So Life from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein.
Josh Schaefer. Or am I?
And Queen Bee.
We will see you next time.